What up, pilots? Nora here. It's the first video, so this is what I look like. You're welcome. Um, I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk about the state of Gemini Station and what my plans are for next year moving forward. Now that we're wrapping up the first year of Gem, so let's do it. First of all, I just have to say thank you for everyone who's played and contributed and bought supporter crates and just dived into the community. This has been amazing and far exceeds my expectations and hopes. Gem would not be what it is if it wasn't for you, the players. So thank you for that. Um, in my naivete, when I launched Gem last year, I thought the game was done and ready, and all I had to do was just watch the community develop. And that turned out to not be the case. I think what happened was, as I developed it on my own, I got it to the best place I could get it without any um, mass feedback. And 2020 became taking this bare bones system and turning it into something that was a little more well established. I think right now we're in a decent place. I think there will always be things to add and balance and uh, bugs to squash and rants to address, but I think at a foundational level, Gem is in a good spot. I mean, look at all the features that were added in 2020. We added, and I say we because it's me and you guys. I don't have a team. It's just me, but the community too. The bounty system, the story system with a ton of stories. We added a bunch more mods. The token system, the outlands, the moon, faction marks, and that's not live, so I can't say that. So plans for the future. Okay, so as long as people are playing the game, I'll develop it. And on a long-term basis, the game needs to become self-sustainable, meaning the money I know that the game generates needs to cover the server costs. And right now, not even close. But there is enough supporter activity in 2020 to make me think that long term, I think we'll reach that goal. So I have a thought. We're at the point where the one thing that Gem needs most is more players. I think from a game mechanic and system standpoints, we're in a good spot. We just need more players. And there are a couple ways that I think we can increase the player base. Number one, I'm going to set up a refer a friend system that will give you and the friend you refer a perk when they sign up and level up. I just have to figure out a way that jerks don't exploit that, so that's why that's taking a long time. Number two, the thing that I think the game needs most is artwork. I'd like to see more ship designs. I'd like to see ship designs at different angles, different cockpit views, more location designs, that kind of thing. But I'm not an artist. I can't draw. And art costs a lot of money. And so my thought is to do a Kickstarter campaign that will raise funds to pay for artwork and also increase exposure to the game itself, hopefully to get more players. So I'm going to be setting that up and filming that and writing that script in the next month. So what I'll need from you guys is to help spread the word. And you don't even need to contribute or Kickstart or whatever. Just like share the link, get it, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And the bottom line is, I did not make Gem to make money. I made Gem to make a cool, free space game, and it cost money to keep the server going and get artwork. And the sad fact is that I'm not rich, and I've checked several times, and I'm not. And so for this to work out, we really need more players who are supporting the game. And I'm hoping that the Kickstarter campaign will help with that. Changes to the game. I've thought about this a lot and discussed it a lot with players, and alts have to go away. I've seen too much gray area with alts working together to give an advantage that the player wouldn't really have if they didn't have an alt that they could control. So I have a couple more multi-account scripts in place that I'm watching. Players who have multiple accounts, so you'll be getting messages from me. And basically, the reason I okayed alts in the first place was to let players experience a different ship class, which they couldn't do prior to the faction ships being released. Since the faction ships were released, you can start as a freighter and end up with another freighter and a scout and a fighter. So there really isn't a reason to have another alt unless you're trying to work together. For 2021, I'm going to put a soft hold on major game mechanic expansions and focus on bugs, lore, more mods, especially token mods, this Kickstarter thing, and trying to expand the player base. That doesn't mean new features won't happen, but I know people have been talking about guild ships. That's going to be a ways off. And then trainable crew, that's probably a post-Kickstarter initiative, and that's going to be on hold for now. But sectors will move forward mid-January, so be on the lookout for that. I keep getting messages about people wanting to change their ship class after starting an account. Mostly from scouts who say it's too hard, who apparently can't read the "hey, scouts are very hard" disclaimer that shows up when you create an account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a specific token that when you receive it, you can change your ship class to a different class, and it's gonna come at the option will come at level 5, I think, where if you don't like your ship class, you can change it at that point. And if anyone else wants to change theirs, I'll give them tokens for that as well. One thing we've talked about a lot is a grid-based combat system. I know the current clickety-click of encounters and combat isn't amazing. It's originally built on the D20 system, which is just roll, 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 and it's not really designed to be very versatile, but I'd like to set up a separate grid-based system where you can move your ship and actually have different actions for each ship class. I've looked into that. That is going to be so involved. So that I'm going to put as a stretch goal on the Kickstarter campaign, because that's going to require me to take some serious time off of work to figure out that system and map everything out. Just to wrap up, I just got to say it's been a blast developing Gem and being a part of the community and watching people argue over ship classes and mods and travel routes, and it's just been great. And I really hope that we can continue to build the community to something that can be self-sustaining and long-term. Because really, ideally, I'd like for Gem to make enough money where I can bring on writers and artists and programmers and really make this a sustainable long-term game. So, and you guys have been a huge part of that already, so thank you, and here's to 2021. Off you go. Okay, I'll go.